Good morning, everybody. We'll start off with our safety disclaimer the way we always do. These classes and what I say are not medical advice. Please consult with your healthcare professional team before making changes to manage your health. This presentation does not represent Parkinson Canada's endorsement of products or treatment related to Parkinson's disease. This presentation is meant to provide general information. If you have specific questions about managing Parkinson's disease for yourself or for others, please contact info@parkinson.ca, or you can always call 1-800-565-3000. Well, good morning, everybody. It's your at-home workout class number 62. My name is Lance Latane. I am the events coordinator here for Parkinson Canada in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and these classes are brought to you by Parkinson Canada. If you're new to these classes, welcome. It's great to have you on board. If you're a veteran of these classes, I want to thank you for your continued patronage. These live class broadcasts are brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Central. That's 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock in Atlantic Canada, and in Saskatchewan and Alberta, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and in beautiful British Columbia, it's 6 o'clock bright and early in the morning. These classes are also recorded, and you can find every single one of these classes on either the Parkinson Canada Facebook Manitoba group page. Again, that's a mouthful. So if you haven't, you just have to like the Parkinson Canada Manitoba Facebook group page, and you'll see an entire list in the video section here of every single class that we have done. You can also find recordings of these classes on the Parkinson Canada YouTube channel. Just subscribe to the channel, and again, you'll see a list of all the videos. All right. We'll get into some of the benefits here. Excuse my cough. Actually, I found out yesterday that I have pulmonary fibrosis. So, just having to learn how to manage that. And I've got a strategy about how I'm going to approach everything. Benefits. Well, let's keep it really simple. It's fun. It's really a lot of fun. When you're moving and you're active, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to be engaging with other people. And another good thing is that you're going to be looking marvelous. All right, typically I'm talking about specifically with benefits of Parkinson's disease and exercise. In today's class, I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. A, it's fun. B, you look marvelous. All right, I started thinking about some of the barriers to exercise and some of the, I don't know if I would necessarily want to call them excuses, but there are almost excuses as to why people don't exercise. Number one is time. Well, it's just being able to make time. There's a common misconception out there that once a person is retired, that they have all the time in the world. Well, my experience has kind of told me that the exact opposite is true. That there seems to be, a lot less time. People are more engaged. They're doing things that they want to do. So, if you want to make exercise a part of your life, you just have to make the time. Again, it only takes, we're taking a look. We're trying to get 150 minutes of exercise per week. Good morning, Audrey. Then you're just going to have to make time. You're going to have to schedule about 50 minutes worth of exercise 3 times a week, and you'll get your 150 minutes. So another common excuse is people don't enjoy exercise. Well, maybe there's some sorts of forms of exercise that you don't enjoy, but surely to goodness, there has to be something that you like, that you enjoy doing, that involves moving. And it's more, of course, more than just moving. We are looking at that intensity level where it's going to actually take you some work. You have to push yourself outside your comfort zone. You're going to have to challenge your body. You're going to have to challenge your brain to become a little bit uncomfortable, working towards the vigorous end of the intensity level with the exercise. The cost. Well, as you can see from these classes that I'm doing, what costs are there? There's really not a lot of costs. So for our weights, we are typically using cans of soup, cans of beans, cans of tomatoes, so anything weight resistance. And of course, you don't even need to have cans of soup or anything like that in order to do some resistance training. These classes are free. Confidence. I totally get confidence. If you haven't exercised for a period of time, or maybe you were discouraged to exercise at one point in time, then it's hard to have the confidence to feel like you can follow through with exercising. And without, some people have the feeling that they're being looked at, and I get that. That's not easy, but you don't have to do everything in public. You can do everything in private so that nobody knows. You'll find that as soon as you start doing something and you start building on those little successes, the confidence will come along. So you will be building your sense of confidence and self-assuredness, and before long you'll be very comfortable going out there and doing the things that make you happy and that show that you can actually follow through with things. So that's awesome. Facilities, that's another barrier that I often hear. Well, you don't need to have a lot of facilities. If you want to go out and do some power walking, if you want to do some Nordic pole walking, there's no reason why we can't do that. I know here in Winnipeg, actually in Manitoba, there's a program run by Active Aging in Manitoba. It's called Stepping Up with Confidence, and these classes are all free, and the facilities are typically held in a location that are convenient for you. So they could be held at a condominium, seniors condominium. They could be held at community centers. They can be held all over. And of course, these classes are free and they are typically around you. For more information about that, you can just look up Active Aging in Manitoba and they'll be more than happy to steer you in the right direction. Transportation, yeah, that is an issue, especially given the current pandemic that we're living through here. You don't want to necessarily take the public transportation, exposing yourself to the coronavirus. But good morning, Camila. Nice to see you. So transportation, you can do things in your own home. You can do things in your own neighborhood where you don't necessarily have to get out to a gymnasium or any sort of recreational facilities. Injury, yeah, that's a common barrier. But just because you're injured doesn't mean you have to stop moving. You can have a sore shoulder. Well, you can still move your lower body. If you have one side of your body that's sore, well, you just move the other side. It's vital. It's absolutely vital that you keep on moving to have the best quality of life that you can have. All right, let's get into some shout outs here before we start moving here, gang. Got a bit of a list here again. Nice to see. Camila, I had you on my list, so I'll say a great big morning to you, Camila. And of course, Audrey, who was here earlier on. We have Elizabeth, Michelle, Carolyn, Greg, Connie, John, Tracy, Cheryl, Diane, Lorraine, Sadia. Sadia, you did a fantastic job, by the way, with the Super Walk. You raised a pile of money. Thank you for that. We have Barbara, Valerie, Joan and Ken, Betty and Rick, Jean and Dawn down in Florida. We have Monique and Dave, Karen and Robin, Cheryl, Lorinda, Nathan, Janet, Blair Sigurdsson. We have, Arthur, all the way up in the Arctic Circle. Good morning, Arthur. Hopefully you don't have too cold of weather right now. And we have Ella, and of course, one of my favorites, Parkinson, Canada, Quebec. All right, gang, let's get ready to move here. I'm just gonna back up my chair, adjust the camera here. Lose the glasses. I'm getting ready to move. All right, so we start our classes off typically the same way every single time. And then we'll branch off from there. So I'm just going to ask you to sit up nice and straight, or set up nice and straight. We're going to pull our shoulders back. Let's tuck our chin so it's nice and aligned with our spine. We're going to close our eyes. I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Last time, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Keeping our eyes closed, sitting up nice and straight, focusing on the here, focusing on the now. Can you feel your heart beating? Feel ready to open our eyes? Let's open our eyes. We're going to raise our hands above our head, breathing in and out. In and out. Good morning, Blair Sickerton. Big breath in. Hold your hands up top. And out. All right, I'm already starting to feel good. So let's transition into our slap, clap, snap. That's slapping our thighs 5 times, clapping our hands 5 times, and snapping our fingers 5 times. 5, down to 1, and back to 5. Ready, gang? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Yeah, so part of the warm-up is getting our mind ready. I don't know if I lost count there or not. I kind of have a feeling that I did. Sorry, just didn't sleep as well as I wanted to last night. Okay, so from there, let's transition into just some stationary heel taps. Again, let's think of your posture. And of course, we know that posture does affect us in drooling. So the straighter that we're standing, the better posture that we have. The saliva from our mouth is going to go down to our throat, which is where we want it to go. But if you're leaning forward, if we have bad posture, there's just gravity. That's the way gravity works, is that the saliva will come from the sides of your mouth, and you can have some drooling. So let's always try and think about our posture. Let's pull our shoulders back, tapping our heels. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Changing feet. As we get older, it gets harder to get up to speed, so that's why we spend this time, about 5 to 10 minutes, just doing a warm-up, getting our body ready, slowly building up our heart rate and our breathing rate. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tapping our toes now. Whoa, there goes my daughter. She's off to school. She goes to school 2 days a week. On most weeks, some weeks it's 1 day a week, with a cohort that she's going to at high school on a 6-day cycle. So she goes to school, like I said, 2 days a week or 1 day a week. Today is the day. Okay, changing our feet, tapping our toes on the other feet. Her little brothers will be shortly behind her. They go to school every day though. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, from there, how about we try, I was thinking, let's try and keep it a little easier for our warm-up today. We're going to do some waving with one hand. Dropping our arm and waving with the other hand. Of course, those of you that are living with Parkinson's disease, you know that this isn't as easy as it used to be. It might be more of a struggle. The fact that you're doing this, I totally commend you for this. I find that very courageous, showing your leadership. Okay, changing arms. You're doing it. It's not easy. To me, that shows a lot of character. I really value that. And other arm. Again, it's really important that we try and have a balance. Exercising one side of our body, even if it's weaker, we still need to exercise it. Try and keep it, maintain the muscle mass that you have. Now we're going to wave both hands at the same time. Back and forth. Okay, and stop. How about from there? We're going to go from back arm swing, back to shoulder height, and make a fist. Down and up, make a fist. Down and up, making a fist. Getting the blood flowing through different parts of our body. Down through our shoulders. Down our forearms, all the way to our hands. Down, up, Let's go down, hold it down. From here, we're going to go side and make a fist. Side and make a fist. So this is going to be a bit of a lead up into some of the motions that we're going to be doing in our cardiovascular section. We're going to be doing some heel taps to the front. We're going to be doing some toe taps to the side. And our arms are going to follow suit. So when we're doing heel taps, our arms are going to go to the front. And when we're doing toe taps, our arms are going to go to the side like we're doing right now. Up and down. Last one. Up and down. Okay. We're not going to get into our cardio yet. We're going to keep it nice and slow, very controlled. We're going to do a heel tap and back, other foot, tap and back. There we go. We're slowly building our heart rate up. Tap and back, tap and back. Now it's a really good time to kind of take a good measure of how you're feeling. Are you feeling up to following an exercise class right now? If so, that's great. If not, like I said, all these classes are recorded, so you can come back to them. I post them up on the YouTube channel and on the other Facebook group page, on Manitoba Facebook group page, pretty much right after the class. So you can go back and follow this class when you're feeling stronger. Maybe your meds have kicked in, you're feeling a little bit more in control. And back. Tap. Okay, now we're going to do some toe taps to the side, very slow, very controlled. Tap and back. Tap and back. Tap and back. Tap and back. Like I said, in the cardio section here, we're going to be doing some heel taps and some toe taps. Of course, they're going to be done at a quicker rate, a higher pace, and or larger movements. And we're also going to have some arm movements in there. So it's going to be a good workout. Tap and back, tap and back. But of course, we can also do modifications. If you find it too hard or too challenging, or the coordination is just not there for you today, we can just do the lower body, or you can just do the upper body. When we get there, I'll explain. Tap and back, tap and back. All right, gang, so now is a really good time to grab a sip of water. That's our cardio warm-up. We're now going to transition into our cardio section here. So it's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes of continuous movement. It's going to be, we're going to be working our way towards the more vigorous end of the scale, so that your heart rate is going to get faster, it's going to be beating harder, and your breathing rate's going to get deeper, and it's going to be more rapid as well. That's all natural. If at all you're starting to feel any sort of pain in your chest, or you're feeling any sort of really discomfort, just stop, or you can slow down. Ideally, just slow down, slowly bring your heart rate down. That's more ideal for me, because we don't want to have any big major shock to your system here. All right, so for those of you that want to stand, you can stand up. Just make sure the area around you is nice and safe. Any tripping hazards? If you're sitting down, let's sit up nice and straight. We're going to start off doing some cross-country skiing arms. So it's just our arms going forward and back. If you can, think of your posture, shoulders back, nice and straight. One arm forward and the other arm back. Try and bring your hands up to shoulder height. It's a nice, slow, controlled movement to start off with here. Again, gauge how you're feeling. If you're feeling strong, you're feeling good, you think you can keep up, that's great. If you think, you know what, maybe I should come back to this, you come back to it when you're feeling better. We just had Equinox yesterday. So fall equinox, which only means winter is getting closer and closer. And we will, for those of you that do cross-country ski, you can get outside before, hopefully not too long. But there, from what I read in the Farmer's Almanac, it looks like it's going to be a long, cold, snowy winter. Well, that doesn't mean we have to stay, holed up. We can get outside, we can do some cross-country skiing. This will be our warm-up. Arms forward and back. Forward and back. Cross-country skiers typically have the best VO2 max. So essentially that's just a measure. Your cross-country skiers have the best aerobic capacity out of most athletes. And that has a lot to do with because they're engaging so much with their upper body and their lower body. The body becomes really efficient, uses oxygen very efficiently. All right, so we can make it more challenging. We can go a little bit faster. How about we do that? Forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. There we go. Forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. How are you feeling? If you're having, like, say, pain in one side, one shoulder, you can just do one arm over and over again. You don't have to do both sides, or you can have smaller movements. You can make those modifications. Again, the big thing is that we're looking for continuous movement for about 15 to 20 minutes here. Forward and back, forward and back. Think we can pick it up just a tad bit more? Let's give it a go. Here we go. Forward and back and forward and back. Forward and back, forward and back. Forward and back and forward and back. Forward, back, forward, back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down, smaller movements. All right, so that's one way that we can bring our heart rate down, smaller movements, slower movements. All right, I don't know about you, I can feel my heart beating. That's a good thing. Soon I'll have all those endorphins rushing through my body, feeling good about what I'm doing, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of confidence. All right, so from here, how about we transition into, we're going to do two sides and one, two swings on one arm, then 2 swings on the other arm. We'll eventually build up to 4 swings on one arm, then 4 swings on the other arm. Ready, gang? Here we go. 1 and 2, change it up. 1 and 2. 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 Let's do 3. 1, 2, 3. Change it here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Let's do 4. 1, 2, 3, and 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 4. Down to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're doing 2. 1 and 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 alternate. One arm. There we go. All right, gang. Were you able to follow? If so, that's great. Forward and back, forward and back, forward, back, forward, back. All right, we're going to pick up the pace just a little bit, then we're going to transition into legs only. Then we're going to tie it all in together. But first, let's pick up the pace. Let's go for a bit of a fast ski with our arms. Ready, gang? Here we go. Forward and back and forward and back. Forward, back, forward, back. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down, smaller movements. All right. So that's our arms. We're going to come back to the arms when we tie it in with our legs, but for now, we're going to just do the legs. So standing still. Okay, so for our legs, what we're going to ask you to do is, if you're sitting down, you're going to bring your foot to the back and together, back, together. From a standing position, same thing, back, together, back, together, back, together, back, together. You can stand up or sit down to do this. It's actually tougher to do from a seated position. Back, together, back. Oh, I gotta turn off my daughter's alarm here. Sorry about that. It's an alarm to lock her phone. She's at school. She does not need to have her phone turned on. Back, together, back. I'm going to do seated down, back, together, back, together. Thinking for posture, sitting up nice and straight. We want to control our drooling. Together, back, together, back. All right, so let's pick up the pace a little bit. Back, together, and back, together, back, together, back, together, back, together, and back, together, back, and back. All right, let's try and go just a tad bit faster here. We're going to bring our heart rate back up to where we want it to be, closer towards the vigorous end of the intensity scale. Back, together, and back, together, back, and back, back, and back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slow it down. Back, together, and back, together. All right, so that's our little jaunt. Now we're going to do 2 times on one side. We'll eventually build it up to 4 times per one side, then 4 times on the other side. Okay. Here we go. 2 times. 1 and 2. Other side. 1 and 2. 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 Let's do 3. 1, 2, 3. Change it here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Change it here. 1, 2, 3. Now we're doing 4. 1, 2, 3, and 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 now we're doing 3. 1, 2, 3. Change it here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're doing 2. 1 and 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 2. Let's alternate 1 foot and the next. 1 foot and the next. All right. 1 foot and the next. Stay sitting if you need to stay sitting. For those of you that can stand, I encourage you to stand. We're working on our balance at the same time, which is a good thing. We know as we get older, balance becomes more of an issue. And if you have Parkinson's disease, you know all too well, for those of you that have symptoms of freezing episodes, you know how you feel when your balance is kind of put off. Maybe you've had a fall. If you've had a fall, you know that your confidence may be not as high as you'd want it to be. The good thing is, though, our body and our brains do respond very well to balance training. So if you can do things that work on your balance, that's what you want to do. Your brain's making all those little micro adjustments to keep you standing upright, making changes in your muscles, joint angles. All right, so let's tie this all in. We're going to do our upper arm with our lower arm, with our lower body. Upper body with lower body. So if your right leg is going forward or backwards, your left arm's going forward. It'll look like this. Opposite side. There we go. Cross-country skiing in my basement. There we go. So for those of you that need to work out harder, if you find that this is too easy, you could have larger movements. That's going to take more energy up. But for those of you that find it really hard, you can just have small movements. Again, the big thing is to keep on moving, challenging ourselves, challenging our brain for movement patterns here. So we're engaging with our musculoskeletal system and our nervous system, all working together as one. Neuroplasticity. I don't know if you've heard that term before. I'm sure you have. So we're trying to create new learning pathways, new movement pathways. My breathing rate's up there. That feels good. Okay, shall we go for one quick spin here? And we're going to change our movements up. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, gang, let's just march it out nice and slow. How does that feel? All right, got a sweat going on? If so, that's good. It does get harder again as we get older. Some things are more challenging, and sweating is one of those challenges. It's our body's way of cooling off. But we get older, we don't sweat as much as we used to when we were younger. March, 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 and march. Okay. We're not going to do too much marching. We're going to transition. No arms, just our legs. Let's do some heel taps. Tap and back. Tap and back. Tap and back. And by thinking of our posture, let's work on our Parkinson mask. Let's get a great big smile, a big Parkinson smile. Tap and back. Tap and back. Okay, so let's engage with our upper body at the same time. We're going to do some arm raises, straight arm raises like we did in our cardio warm-up. And back, and back. If you can bring your hands up to shoulder height, that's great. And back, tap, and back, and back. If you're feeling any pain, we don't like pain. Soreness is different than pain. Let's say if you're feeling pain in one shoulder, you can just do one arm instead of both arms. Or you can raise your arms a little bit lower. Hopefully the pain will subside, it won't be there. You're going to be able to move. Tap and back, tap and back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. No arms, just our legs. Okay. Do you feel it in your shoulders? Your deltoids? All right. And back. Tap and back. So instead of going forwards, we're now going to do some side toe taps. It's going to look like this. So tap and back and back. Step to the side and back. Step to the side and back. And back and back. Step to the side and back and back. So what can we do with our upper body that matches this? Well, you know what we're doing. We're going to be doing our modified jumping jacks. So when our leg goes out, our arms are going to go up to the side, shoulder height. It'll look like this. Tap and back and back. Tap and back and back. All right. Heart rate's getting back up there. That's good. That's where we want to be. And back. And back. and back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and no arms, just our legs. All right. And back. Tap, and back, and back. All right, so we'll just try and mix things up a little bit before we get into our cardio cool down here. We're going to do toe tap or a heel tap on one side, and then on the same side you're going to do a toe tap. Then we're going to alternate. So it'll look like this. Heel tap and back, toe tap and back. Other leg, tap and back, and back. Changing legs, and back, and back. Other legs, and back. Again, new movement patterns, getting you to pay attention. That's what we want. Tap and back, having to think, having to follow along, instead of it just being easy, the same thing over and over again. We want you to be engaged with your mind, engaged with your body. Tap and back. Should we add some arms? Why not? When we go to the side, we're going to bring our arms to the side, and when our legs go to the front, our arms will go to the front. Ready, gang? Here we go. Forward and back, side and back. Forward and back, and back, and back, and back. Thinking when we're moving. Forward and back, and side and back. Forward, back, side, back. Forward and back, side and back. Forward and side. All right, so we try and do 10. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, halfway there, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, march it out. All right, gang, you did it. We reached over that 20-minute mark. If you're able to keep up the whole time, that's fantastic. If you did everything you could just to keep up, that impresses me more than anything. I'm proud of you. Good job. Just think of all your grandchildren and children, how proud they'd be of you, knowing you're doing everything you can to have the best quality of life, to manage those symptoms of Parkinson's disease. If you're doing it with a caregiver, with a loved one, family member, that connection you have, that's strong. It's something you share together. All right. So we're going to slow things down. We're going to bring our heart rate down. So I thought maybe we could try and do a little bit of waltzing. I'm just going to waltz, sitting down, moving back, swaying back and forth. If you're standing up, that works for me. Make sure the area around you is good, nice and safe. Moving around, nice slow waltz. We're trying to bring our heart rate down, so smaller movements. Keeping our head held high. Definitely want to keep your head above the level of your heart when we're slowing down our cardio section here. Excuse me. Okay. How about from here, we're going to transition into some swimming. So we're going to front crawl. For you swimmers, you know this is the freestyle. One arm and the next. One arm. And we're going to even go slower. One arm and the next. If you have shoulder pain or if you've had shoulder surgery, you can have smaller movements. You can just bring your arms to the side like that. That works for me. You don't have to have a full reach around like this. Full range of motion. But if you do have full range of motion, I would encourage you to continue doing those full exercises. Okay, now we're going to go back crawl. All the way around and back. Again, thinking of your posture. We can work on our mask. all the way around. Okay, from here, let's go into our breaststroke. So it's dropping your arms down to the side, hands together, shoot them up, arms to the side, so they're down like this, hands together. All right, I can feel my heart rate getting down. My breathing rate's getting closer to resting. Okay, we're going to drop our arms, keep them low. Let's do some shoulder shrugs. We're going to bring our shoulders up and down. Up and down. Yeah, it's very important that we spend time doing a cardio cool down here. Keeping our head held high. Up. We did a lot of arm work today, so you might feel a little bit of soreness. Soreness is okay. We can live with that. Your body will adapt. Pain is different though. If you're feeling pain, you don't have to do it. You can stop. You can make a modification. Just do one side of your body only. Up and down. Up and down. Okay, let's do some stationary heel taps again. We're trying to bring our heart rate down. Bring our breathing rate down. Thinking of your posture. We don't want to drool if we don't have to. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap. You know what I'm talking about when I'm saying working on our posture and our drooling. So we're sitting up nice and straight, standing up nice and straight. Saliva in the back of our mouth is going to go down our throat, as opposed to if we're leaning forward, it's just gravity is going to work and it's going to come out of our mouth. Okay, changing legs. Oh, the joys of aging. I'm with you, gang. I'm with you. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Now we're going to tap our toe. Again, our heart rate should be coming down. Hopefully feeling good. All those endorphins rushing through your body. You got that glow. And you're looking marvelous. Tap, 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 tap. Changing feet. Tapping your toe. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. All right, so that's it for our cardio cool down. We did our cardio warm up. We did our cardio, and we just did our cardio cool down. Now is a great time to have a sip of water. When you come back, just make sure that the area, your water bottle is out of the way, that you're not going to trip over it. We're going to transition into our strength training, part of our program here. And for today's class, you don't need any resistance. We're going to work with gravity alone. And we're going to try and focus on the muscles that are associated with preventing falls. So we're going to work with our lower body, and we're going to do a little bit of work with our core, so our abdominal region here. So I like to try and get the harder things out of the way right off the bat. Sit to stands are hard. There is no way around it, but they are very, very important. It is something that you do work at regularly. When we're doing our sit to stands, I like to try and have my feet wider than my shoulders, so when I am standing, my weight is distributed over a larger surface area, which makes me more solid. I'm going to be sitting up. I'll give you a profile shot here. I'm going to be sitting towards the end of my chair. Again, my feet are nice and wide. If you have hand rests, you can use your arm rests to help get you up. If you don't have to, ideally try not to use them, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to work our largest muscles in our body, our quadriceps. We're trying to work these muscles. We're trying to work with our gluteal muscles, and we're working with our hamstrings. Of course, there's a little bit of our calves as well. Posture is really important when we are trying to sit and stand here. So try and sit up nice and straight. I have my arms out in front of me. You can use the armrest if you need to. We're going to stand up. Sitting down. When you're sitting down, you're going to shoot your butt to the back. So you're not bending forward. You're just shooting your butt to the back. That's one. We're doing 6, gang. That's 1. Here's 2. And down. 3. Halfway there. 4. 5. And 6. That's 1 repetition. We're going to come back to our sit to stands here in the 2nd repetition, but we're going to do a bit of a circuit training today. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to raise our knee up, kick our leg out, bring our heel back, Put our heel down. Their leg up, out, back, and down. Changing legs, up, out, back, and down. Of course, we're doing everything very slow, very purposeful. You get more benefit out of doing it slow than doing it fast. Up, out, back, and down. Hopefully your form will be better too, so that means you're going to be safer. And down. We want to be safe. We also want to get maximum benefits out of what we're doing. And down. Up, out, back, and down. One more time, each side. Up, out, back, and down. Last one. Up, out, back, and down. Now we're going to do straight leg lifts. We're going to do 4 on one leg, then 4 on the other. You'll see that I'm trying to sit up nice and straight, shoulders are back. I'm raising my leg up. I'm lowering my leg down. That's 1. Here's 2. And down. You can do this from a standing position. If you are standing, I would have your hand on a chair just for a little bit of extra stability. And we'll do one more for good health, gang. One more. Here we go. And down. Changing legs. Up. And down. That's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. We'll do one more. Come on. And 5. Okay, we're going to go back to our sit to stand. Again, thinking of your posture, sitting up nice and straight. Shoulders are back. All right. If you can do 6, that's great. If you can only do 1, that is 100% okay. You're doing everything you can. I'm impressed by that. All right. Here we go. Up. And down. Shooting my butt to the back. Here's 2. Here's 3. There's 4. 5. And 6. All right. Woo, those sit to stands are tough, but they're necessary. Ooh, that's really, really important that we try and do those. All right, next we're going to do our knee raise. Up. Kick your leg out. Bring your foot back. Put your foot down. Other foot. Up. Out. Back. And down. Changing legs. Up. Out. Back. And down. Changing legs. Up, out, back, and down. Up, out, back, and down. Up, out. One more time, each leg, and down. Up, out, back, and down. Last one, up, out, back, and down. Now we're going to finish off with our straight leg raises. Legs straight, going up 1 and down. Same leg. We're going to do 4. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Changing our legs. And down. And down. 2 more. Up and down. Last one. Up and down. All right, now we're going to finish our strength training off with our Kegel exercises. So just think of that muscle that we use that engages when we're trying to stop our flow of urine. When you're going to the bathroom, you're going to contract that muscle. It's kind of deep within your abdominal region here. For some people, it does help to close your eyes just to be able to focus on that muscle itself. Almost bringing your abdominal wall, basically the abdominal wall up and holding it nice and tight. All right, let's think of our posture. Shoulders are back, chin tucked in. Let's engage with that muscle. Kegel exercises. Keep it nice and tight. And relax. Woo! I feel that one. Gonna bring it up. Hold it nice and tight. And relax. 2 more, gang. Engage. Hold it there. There we go. Yeah, hold it nice and tight. And relax. Last one. Ready? Here we go. Engage. Hold that muscle nice and tight. You're going to engage with it. We're going to hold on to it just a little bit longer. Come on, gang. Come on. You can do it. And relax. Woo, we definitely feel that. Okay, so that's it for our strength training. We're now going to transition into our balance training. So I'm going to ask you to, if you're sitting down, we're going to do, everybody can do this. We're going to do leaning forward in our chair. This is the same motion that you're using. If you're transitioning from a chair onto a toilet, or a chair onto a couch, or onto a bed, what have you. There is some balance involved. I like to try and have your feet wider than your shoulder width. And you're going to be resting your upper body weight on the balls of your feet. Not your toes, but the balls of your feet. You're leaning forward. You're going to hold it there. And let's go back. Let's try that again. Leaning forward. Balance involved here. Head held high. Great big Parkinson smile, gang. And back. Last one. Leaning forward. Hold it there. And back. Okay, so for the rest of our balance training here, it is going to require you to stand up. So if you can't stand up, maybe you just want to, excuse me, you want to practice leaning forward and back, or you can do some of your Kegel exercises, or you can do chair crunches as well. But for everybody else who can stand up, and you can do some balance training, we're going to stand on one leg. I'm going to have a chair to hang on to. Just provides me a little bit of extra stability. I'm going to raise my one leg up, hand on the chair. Again, posture plays a role in our balance. So the better posture we have, the more our body weight is going to be focused below us, making us more stable. That's one leg. I'm going to put it down. What we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. Standing on one leg. Again, have my hand on the chair here. Thinking of your posture. And down. So we're going to stand on the other leg. For those of you that need the extra challenge, you can take your hand off the chair, or maybe you just want to have one finger on the chair. Going up. If you're going to take your hand off, you can take your hand off. It does make a difference if you're going to have your arms off to the side, but only do that if you're feeling confident that you're not going to fall. Maybe you want to take your hand off just for a second or two. Again, we're building. So the more we practice, the better your balance is going to be. Other leg. I'm going to have one finger on the chair. And down. Okay, from here we're going to shift our weight from one leg to the other. I'm going to have both feet on the ground. I'm going to have my toe on my left foot on the ground. I'm shifting my weight to this side. Again, I'm making all the adjustments in my hips, my ankles, and my knees. Even my head. My head, instead of leaning over to the side like that, kind of tilts some more so that all the weight of my body is transferring down the side of my body, down through my leg, onto my foot. So we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. Trying to stay upright. If our body does respond very, very well to balance training, so if you're going to incorporate this into your daily living, I would suggest that you could be washing dishes, maybe working on your balance, brushing your teeth, but I always try and make sure that I have something to hang on to in case I need to. Our body also responds very, very well in no time at all to flexibility training and stretching, which we're going to do next. Okay, back to the other side. This time I'm actually going to bring my foot up and off the ground. I'm going to challenge myself more. I'm actually going to let go of the chair. If you don't feel confident enough, you can hang on to the chair, or you can have your foot on the ground. Find your comfort level. You do want to push yourself, but within reason. And back to the other side last time. Bring my foot up off the ground just a little bit. Again, you can see the arch of my body here. My head is above this leg here. Down the side of my body, my hips, my knees, my ankles. All right, we're going to do one walk the line just because it's good for us. For those of you that do have freezing episodes, you know how challenging it is to be able to hold your balance when you are frozen. So we're going to actually incorporate a freeze into our line walk here. So you can place one foot in front of the other. Pretend there's an imaginary line in front of you. If you have a chair to hang on to, I would encourage you to do that. Or if you have a wall, you can have your hand on the wall. That's even better. That way you're moving forward. So imaginary line in front of you, one foot in front of the other, and freeze. Go forward and freeze. And one more all the way. All right, let's go all the way back, gang. No freezing, all the way back. All right, so from there, we are now going to work on our flexibility. We're going to do some stretching. Everything can be done from a seated position, or if you want to do it, you can from a standing position. You can do that too. First thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch out our forearms. So we're going to stretch out arms there. Have my arms shoulder height. If it hurts too much at shoulder height, you can bring your hands down. Doesn't matter. Stretching does make a difference in pain management for those of you that have Parkinson's disease and you find that your muscles are really tight. Stretching out those muscle fibers, relaxing them. Feels good. If you have some heat, that even makes it a little bit better. It does take a while. Ideally, you want to hold each stretch for about 30 seconds. It does take a while for our muscles to relax, for our brain to send signals back to the muscle saying that's okay. You can continue to do that, or you can go a little bit further. Oh, that feels good. I'm going to go back the other way. Again, we're looking for balance in our exercise. What we do to one side, we do to the other. If we do upper body, we do lower body. If we do muscles on the front of our body, we try and do muscles on the back of our body. Other end. Yeah, and even if one side of your body is more affected by symptoms of Parkinson's disease, it's important, actually it's more important that you continue to exercise that side of your body that is affected more, because we want to keep our muscle mass. We want to keep those neurons firing. We want to have the dopamine being passed between the synaptic space there. Okay, so from there, what we're going to get into, we're going to stretch out our hamstrings, lower body. So you can keep our posture, kicking one leg out in front. We're leaning forward. Have your hands out in front. You should feel the stretch along the back side, top part of your leg. Head held high. Oh, that feels good, good, good. Changing legs. Leaning forward. So I have news for you. These classes are going to be coming to an end at the end of the month. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. And then we're going to evaluate things, hopefully come back to it. But if you want these classes to continue, by all means, contact me. Contact Parkinson Canada. Say that you're enjoying these Parkinson Canada at-home workout classes, getting feedback. Let us know if you want to learn something new, if you want more challenges. I want to be able to meet your needs. And back now, we're going to do our Parkinson-specific exercises, gang. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to work on alphabet. So if you can record yourself, you can hear yourself, and then you can see your tongue and your lips moving, that's ideal. That way you're getting that feedback, and you're realizing that, you know what, you do need to work more at practicing your your alphabet and talking. Sometimes when we don't get that instant feedback, it's hard for us to evaluate ourselves to see if we're digressing in our speech. So if you don't have a phone, if you don't have a tablet and you can't record yourself, then at least do it in front of a mirror. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do our alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. All right, now we're going to work on our tongue. I'm going to ask you to stick your tongue out and down. Bring your tongue in. Tongue is often a muscle that gets overlooked, but for those of you that have your speech is starting to not be where you want it to be, you know the importance of exercising your tongue. I'm going to ask you to stick your tongue out and up. Tongue in. You're going to stick your tongue out and to that side. Tongue in, out, and to that side. All right, now we're actually going to work on our eyes now. Open up our eyes nice and wide. And can you look straight back, straight up? Eyes to neutral. Now we're going to look straight down. Eyes to neutral. Now we're going to have our eyes go that way. Yes, our eyes have muscles, little tiny ocular muscles. It's important we keep them strong. They are also affected by Parkinson's disease. Eyes to neutral and to the other side. All those little fine motor movements often get overlooked. We gotta keep on exercising. It is vital. A, it's vital that you take your medication regularly. B, it's just as important, is that you're getting regular exercise. Okay, so from here, let's work on our Parkinson mask. We're going to do a great big smile. Great big smile. There you go, gang. Now we're going to drop our jaw. So these are the muscles associated with chewing our food. Great big smile. Opening your mouth nice and wide again last time. That's it, gang. Holy moly, we did like an hour, a little over an hour of exercise here. So I really want to thank you for participating in today's class. Our next live broadcast is going to be Thursday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Central Daylight Time. And of course, that's 9 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock in Atlantic Canada. That's 7 o'clock in Saskatchewan and Alberta, and 6 o'clock in beautiful BC. Again, so yeah, these classes are coming to an end at the end of the month here. We're just going to take a little bit of a break. And yeah, get a hold of me. Get a hold of Parkinson Canada. Give us some feedback on how you like these classes, maybe how you'd like to see them evolve and change to meet your needs. So until I see you a Thursday morning, gang, have a great few days. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.